Mark Carlin, the editor and publisher of BuzzFeed.com, says Bill Barr was a bully when he was a kid, and he's still a bully. Check it out. Online with us is our old buddy Mark Carlin. Mark is the founder and editor of BuzzFlash.com. And BuzzFlash, just an absolutely great website. If you want to know what's going on in the world, you want the news, and you want Mark's op-eds or editorials, check it out. BuzzFlash has always been one of my very favorite websites. Mark, welcome back to the program.
Thank you, Tom. It's a pleasure to be on again.
So back in the 90s, when George Herbert Walker Bush was president and he wanted to make Bill Barr his his attorney general, there was a guy who went to high school and college with Bill Barr who wrote an op-ed basically saying Bill Barr is a bully. And that just kind of, vanished. I mean, that was, 30 years ago?
It's nearly 30 years ago. It was on November 18th. It was published in 1951 in the Florida State University Law School.
1991.
Student paper.
Yeah, 1991. So, but this guy reached out to you in the modern era. Tell us about that.
He wrote me. He's a longtime BuzzFlash reader from our very beginnings in 2000. He's a defense attorney. In fact, he defends death penalty cases. And he wrote me an email in December, and he sent me this reprint of this article from the university paper in 1991 and wrote me some of his thoughts about what he believes is the evil of Bill Barr. And I read the article and was absolutely fascinated. It's very vivid, it's incisive, it's very candid, and very, very prescient, considering that we're in Bill Barr's second term as Attorney General.
Right.
And he fulfilled the evil that Jimmy Lohman, the author, predicted. He wrote the article at a time he thought he might have some impact, even though it was a long shot, because it was just after the confirmation hearings under George Herbert Walker Bush by the Senate for Bill Barr to become Attorney General. And he was unanimously voted out of committee. Jimmy was quite upset about this because the committee was controlled by none other than Joe Biden, who was not too far off his disastrous Anita Hill hearings in deference to Republicans who really verbally abused her and in some way sexually abused her in a verbal manner. He feels that Joe Biden was very eager to approve Bill Barr and that he respected Bill Barr because Bill Barr was a member of the establishment and an Ivy League graduate. And I think he said that Biden referred to him as someone who was refreshingly candid. And so Jimmy wrote this article hoping that maybe it would be read and would warn.
So summarize the essence of we're talking with Mark Carlin, the editor and publisher of BuzzFlash.com, about this guy who back in 1991, when Bill Barr first was coming into government, was saying before the Senate had the full confirmation vote, hang on, guys, there's something wrong with this guy. He went to college. So if you could summarize it real quickly for us in a couple of minutes, Mark.
He basically says he was a sadistic bully. To be frank, it's in the article. He says that he and that Bill Barr and another very heavy-set student at Horace Mann, an elite school in New York, in Bronx, just outside of Manhattan, would regularly physically beat him up, basically, he said, because they were enraged by my Jew commie ass, and that's the quote. He now says that upon reflection, his experiences with Barr seem somewhat trivial because he is evil incarnate in what he is doing in the name of unitary executive authority to allow Trump to proceed with anything he would like done in the Department of Justice to benefit Trump.
Yeah, well, he believes in this unitary executive theory that the president is basically the king. And, he did it with George Herbert Walker Bush when it was Bill Barr who engineered the cover-up both of what William Safire referred to as Iraq Gate, which was the scandal where the Reagan administration was selling weapons of mass destruction illegally to Saddam Hussein. And, and thus we have that famous photo of, our former Secretary of Defense shaking hands with Saddam Hussein. And he covered up the Iran-Contra scandal, which helped Ronald Reagan get elected in 1980. And, that was Bill Barr. And now he's Attorney General again. So, Mark Carlin, editor of BuzzFlash.com, what are you suggesting we do with this knowledge that Bill Barr, apparently for his entire life, has been just a relentless bully?
Well, you wrote a wonderful article in Salon about his history. He was in government before he became Attorney General. He was Deputy Attorney General, Assistant Attorney General. He was in the CIA under George W. Bush.
He was their first lawyer, or their lawyer, yeah.
Legal counsel. Yeah. And I think that what we should take from Jimmy Lohman's piece is that Bill Barr believes in the absolute authority, both of the Republican Party, of the Catholic Church, and of a Republican president. And I think you might have noted in your article, Jimmy noted in his that William Safire, a Republican columnist at the New York Times at the time, called Barr the cover-up Attorney General.
He called him Cover-Up General. That was the title he used, Cover-Up General Barr.
And nothing has changed. So I think we had a lesson to learn when the media wonders and takes for truth that Bill Barr is going to resign or he's upset with Trump's tweets. This is just kabuki theater.
Yeah.